Our bottom-up economic transformation agenda requires investment on a scale that public resources alone cannot provide. Private capital must therefore become our partner. Strengthening ATIDI is not only in Africa's interest, it is firmly in Kenya's national interest. Kenya will lead from the front. Accordingly, I announce today our intention as we go into the future, as I did in our last meeting, Kenya's capital participation in ATIDI progressively to increase with an initial $25 million. We will continue to increase until we arrive at $65 million. To demonstrate that commitment, we will continue positioning Nairobi as Africa's premier financial and development hub. In support of that vision, we prepared to provide strategic institutional support, including the allocation of land. This evening, I have a title here, issued by the government of Kenya to facilitate the establishment and expansion of the headquarters and regional offices of African multilateral financial institutions, specifically to ATIDI. And I want to present the title to my good friend.
Makofi yajae kabisa. Let's give a warm clap for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. This is a 2-acre piece of land in Upper Hill, valued at $8 million. The global economy is reordering. Trade is being reconfigured. Geopolitics is fragmenting, and development finance is under tremendous strain. These pressures are not perceptions, they are real. But they also present Africa with an unprecedented opportunity to redefine its place in the global financial system. For years, we have championed a fairer global financial architecture, one that stops mispricing Africa and African risk and making our capital needlessly expensive. That call remains right. I have been, as they have said, to every forum and every meeting, and I have stated our position unequivocally that we do not want a system that favors us. We want a system that treats all of us equally. And that is not too much to ask. When we had the Africa Forward Summit here last month, we made a conscious decision as leaders of this continent that we are going to rethink how we finance our development. We are going to work with partners, and we are immensely grateful for the World Bank, the IMF, IBRD, and all the other partners that have worked with us. They have walked this journey with us. But they have done so much. But there is space for us to do more ourselves. And we cannot delegate what we can do for ourselves for others to do for us. It is not fair to ourselves, it is not fair to them. We must do what we must do. And we made a very conscious decision and said, we must stop the blame game. We must stop blaming others for our own underdevelopment. And I remember one head of state saying that nobody owes us development. We owe it to ourselves. Development is first and foremost our responsibility as leaders in this continent. African development is first and foremost our responsibility. And we must take charge of it. It is easy to blame other people, especially for failures that have nothing to do with them, but everything to do with us. Africa holds nearly $4 trillion in long-term domestic savings through pension funds, insurance assets, and central bank reserves. Yet the continent faces an annual financial gap of more than $400 billion. We attract barely 1% of global institutional investment and only 4% of foreign direct investment. Even today, African countries borrow at rates between 200 and 400 basis points above their fundamentals and where the fundamentals justify. This paradox reveals a simple truth. Africa does not suffer from a shortage of capital, and that has been said by both the CEO of ATIDI and my good friend Sidi. We do not suffer from a shortage of capital. And I say so even when I specifically talk about our own country, Kenya. When I came into office, I championed and I explained to the people of Kenya why savings is important. In our National Social Security Fund, we had 312 billion Kenya shillings saved in 60 years. But in just 2 years, we have moved it from 312 to 680 billion. By next year, we will triple what we have saved in 60 years in 3.5 years. What does that mean? It means there is no shortage of capital. It is us getting organized and getting the resources we have organized and using it for our own development. So when we say there is no shortage of capital in our continent, that statement is very, very true. From my own experience, in just 3 years, I have seen how we can mobilize domestic resources. It is easy. Actually, it's not easy. It is difficult to go borrowing money from people. They subject you to all manner of things. You know, do this, go and pass this law. How about those things, what are those ones called? You go and pass the sexuality laws, go and do this, go and do this. You know, things that have nothing to do with the money you're looking for. But of course, you are subjected to search if you refuse to do what you have to do.